Hello, work wives. I was like, where am I?
You had to like take a second there. Should we?
Yeah. I was
Hello,
like,
work wives.
hello, everyone. It's fine. We'll just keep rolling with it because
Yeah, we
that's
don't
just the
edit
state.
here. Okay, we're very
No.
authentic. We just keep rolling.
Hello, wherever I am
Hello,
today.
listeners.
Welcome to Dear Work Wives. We have another episode of toxic and not so toxic work stories today.
I know we've got a twist today, which is I was so excited to see that when it was submitted.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. It's gorgeously hot and sunny here, and like I've got my watch tan officially. So now I feel like summer. I said, shared it,
Summer's
like
upon us.
the ice cream
I
truck
have a little
came.
one.
The ice cream truck came yesterday, and like, I mean, look at this watch tan.
Oh, nice.
For me,
Good
this is like intent. Lila will look at it and be like, "How are you that pale?" Like,
It's true.
I'm like, "Oh, I know." Yeah, just living a great life. Oh, we're just
What's the
busy.
choice at the ice cream truck? Like, what do you guys go for?
So Lila got a slushie yesterday. The boys were out getting haircuts. Their loss. She got a
Yeah.
slushie, and I swear to you, it was a liter. It was like a liter of slushie. It was huge. And I got one of those like old school like popsicles we would get as a kid that were like SpongeBob with like the gumballs. Do you remember these?
No.
They have a texture like the Flintstones push pops. Do you remember those as a kid?
Yes, yes.
So it's kind of like that. So it's like a frozen sorbet kind of, but mine was shaped like Sonic yesterday.
Oh, nice.
It was really good.
And
It was
there's
like,
gumballs in it?
yeah, like the eyes of Sonic were gumballs.
Oh, I've never seen
It
that.
just was like so much nostalgia that I had to get it.
Yeah.
But normally I would get like a ice cream sandwich. That would be my
I was gonna say, you know what gives me nostalgia is like a chip witch,
so
which is
good.
it's like it reminds me of high school because we had like the normal lunch line where you get like hot cafeteria food, and
Yeah.
then there was like the pizza and chip witch line.
Ugh,
Like it was like in a
the treat
different
line.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, whenever I brought lunch money, like I was getting pizza and a chip
Treats. I'm
witch.
not
You know,
getting
like I
like
wasn't getting
broccoli.
no, I wasn't getting like a chicken sandwich. What were those like although those chicken sandwiches were actually pretty good. It's like the breaded chicken
Yeah. Oh,
sandwich.
yeah.
What are
Yeah.
they called? I feel like they're called something. Anyways,
Uh,
those were good. But other
yeah.
than that, I wasn't buying hot lunch
No.
unless it was like Papa John's pizza
Yeah.
and a sandwich.
Yeah.
And how I remained
Alive.
skinny is alive, skinny, like I mean, I played a lot of sports, so that was probably helpful. You know, you could just in high school, you just
You
consume
just whatever you
anything,
want. It didn't matter. Yeah.
literally a chip witch and pizza every single day. So
I would just not eat in high school. Like I would be like not hungry for breakfast, and then I would be too lazy to like pack a lunch. My mom was like, "Fend for yourself." And like I also didn't have money like for the cafeteria. So like
yeah,
there would be days where like I would not eat, or I would
until
take
you got
like,
home.
or I'd have like a toonie, and like maybe it would be like cheap slice
What's a
day.
toonie?
Oh, like a $2 coin.
Oh, okay.
So like we have like $1 coins and $2 coins. So it's like a loonie and
Yeah.
a toonie. Yeah.
So you had a toonie that you could buy
Yeah.
like
And I
something
would
small
go buy
with.
like a cheese fry or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Terrible.
So
I was
bad.
actually like on this I was like on Instagram and I saw this post about um like a yogurt, like a diet that there was like this commercial and it was like very like diet focused.
Yeah.
It was from when we were younger and it reminded me like it gave me like flashbacks, which I hadn't thought about until that moment when they were talking about this Yoplait commercial about like getting skinny.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it made me think of the Special K
Oh my
commercials
gosh, we
where,
were all just eating Special K.
yeah, and they would tell you to literally like
Two
skip a
meals.
meal, eat
Yeah.
2 meals of Special K a day.
Either
And I'm
that or they had the drinks, right?
yeah, it's like, well, no wonder I had an eating disorder. Like literally on TV, just and I was eating like 2 bowls of Special K, which is basically air. And no
Yeah.
one, my parents weren't saying, no one was saying anything.
Nothing.
Good for you that you're
Yeah.
getting
I was taking like
much. I can't believe that that was like that was our childhood. So if you're listening and that was not your childhood, be thankful because all of
honestly,
us should have eating disorders. We probably do,
I
at
do.
least in some level, you know.
Yeah. I remember having like the meal replace carnation instant breakfast shakes.
Yes.
And then having like Special K, like it was very
Special K 100 calorie lunch.
right. And having like chocolate milk for breakfast, essentially. Protein chocolate milk for breakfast.
Yeah.
And man, old habits die hard because I'll still make that protein shake for breakfast sometimes. Protein coffee now is what all the TikTokers are doing.
Oh, really?
Like just pouring their protein shake
powder in
like the Premier Protein pre-made shakes like into their coffee to make like an iced protein coffee.
Kind of good.
It's not bad for sure, but it's also not breakfast.
Right.
Like for me anyway.
A liquid diet. Yeah.
But teach their own.
I know, it just flashed me back to that. And since we were talking about like eating chipwiches, and obviously I was, indoctrinated into.
It was unavoidable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. Well, how are you doing?
Well,
here we go.
Would it be a Wednesday if my household wasn't sick again? I'm feeling fine. Like, I wouldn't say I'm 100.
Yeah. You'll never be 100 again, but okay.
Yeah. Like, I'm not feeling my best. I have like a little scratchy throat. That's annoying, but I'm not congested. I don't have what Coco has, which is hand, foot, mouth, which is
womp womp.
Disgusting. I feel bad for her. She's pretty Ms.
Is Mackenzie still coming? Or is she quarantining away?
Yes. Okay. No, thank God she's coming, because otherwise I wouldn't be here right now.
Facts.
I just told, she used to work as a preschool teacher, so I think she understands the severity of germs. And I just told her, like, wash your hands diligently. Do not get her saliva in your mouth or anywhere.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
Somehow Kit doesn't have it. So Kit and I, like, Kit got hand, foot, mouth when she first went to daycare. And I was pregnant with Coco in my first trimester. And I got it from her. It was probably like the 5 worst days of parenting for me when Kit had it, because she was already a very fussy child. And then she had hand, foot, mouth, and she couldn't eat anything. And that was worrying me because I was, first time mom. I'm like, oh my God, she's not eating, because they get like sores in their mouth,
Mm-hmm.
And then I got it and it took me out. Like, I had a fever, like a worst fever I'd had in probably since I was a kid. And then I started to get like the little bumps, but mine never turned into like bad sores, but Coco's are looking not great. So
poor Coco.
I know.
For all of you.
I know. I'm just like waiting for the other shoe to drop for like Kit to get. Oh, so what I was saying is like Kit and I already have it. So I'm hoping that we have some sort of immunity.
Yeah.
Because you can get it again. Like, there's different strands of it, but I don't know how Kit hasn't got it yet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe she gave it to Coco and she just didn't have as many symptoms.
Silent carrier.
Just fingers crossed over here that,
I'm really naive, but I feel like if Kit was going to get it, she would have got it already. But that's how I operate on everything. I'm like, well, we're probably fine. Like,
I know.
We're good.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling for you. But if she was going to get it, she'd have it by now.
Yeah. If she didn't get it from Kit, I have no idea where she got it, because she doesn't go to daycare. She's
right. Where did she go?
All the time.
Yeah.
Like, I never take this kid anywhere, and she gets hand, foot, mouth. I'm like, what?
She definitely got it from Kit then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's how things are here.
Great.
Mama Mary's coming today. Oma's coming. So
sprinkle some sunshine on the household. And
yes, we're going to the zoo this weekend. Part of her like Oma's Mother's Day present was like, they have this koala encounter at the zoo, and she's like obsessed with koalas, and so we got that for her. So on Sunday we're going to the zoo and gonna get to do the koala encounter. It's been like sold out. Like, every time I check, it's been sold out for like months in advance. So I was like stalking it for every day. Like the way you have to like do Disney reservations.
Yeah.
I was like stalking it. Like, when can I get this koala encounter? And finally I got it. So maybe I'll get to meet a koala. I mean, I guess I will get to meet one for sure. I don't think I'll get to pet it or anything, because I don't know. That seems weird.
Yeah. But let them have their personal space. But
yeah. Yeah. But
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Jealous. We're going camping this weekend, so I'm not actually that jealous, because we're going camping. I love going camping.
Sounds like the weather's perfect.
Oh my gosh, it's like 30. It's supposed to be 30 plus degrees Celsius. this weekend, which is hot it's like 90, I think.
Oh,
High 80s.
90.
High 80s? High 80s?
Okay. High 80s sounds more enjoyable. 90s. Are you like camping in a tent?
Camping in a tent. We're camping in a tent. My bestie's camping in her trailer, and we have sites beside each other. But we're camping at the lake. So
but it'll get cooler. It's not like you're going to be hot at night, right?
No, it gets down to like 13 Celsius at night. So like, pants and a long sleeve. And we're camping at the lake, so we'll be like in the water.
Perfect then if it's like hot during the day and then a little cool at night so you can sleep well. And
we have 2 stand-up paddle boards, and James and I bought the kids a kids kayak this summer. So because Oakley loves to kayak. So it's gonna be great. We're just gonna be outdoorsy girlies this whole weekend.
Girlies.
All of us.
And boysies.
And boysies, because half the kids boys.
What's the term of endearment, like girlies equivalent for boys?
Buddy? I don't know.
Bros?
I don't know. It's not bros. They don't have one. I mean, they might say bros.
Boysies.
Boys. That's what we're going to call them. The boysies.
We call them boysies. The girlies and the boysies.
Yeah. Yay. Fun. Yeah. Okay. I love that for you. Well, should we dive in? Because we got some good ones.
All right. I'm ready. Do you want me to read first or you?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. Here we go. Unforeseen circumstances. They say they just need to vent and share this toxicity. So it says, worked.
I can hear, excuse me, worked.
I'm dead at the first line.
Yeah.
I worked. Have you ever, I can't, never mind.
No, do it.
It's so funny because we both listened to the toast, and Claudia brought this up the other day, but it was one of my favorite, like when I was in college, me and my best friends, like we were obsessed with like news clips that had like gone awry. Like,
oh yeah. Like, so funny.
They say the wrong words. Okay. So there's one where this guy is climbing Mount Everest and they're talking about the story and they go, Josh so-and-so climbs out Everest, and get this, he's gay. Excuse me, he's blind. What? Like, it was like one of my favorite clips ever because what? Like, how is that a slip of the tongue? One is obviously very pertinent to the story. One does not matter at all.
And they're not like similar at all where you could like slip into
slip up. So-and-so, I forget his name, but like,
oh my gosh.
Everest. And get this, he's gay. Like, and like, it was like, he's gay. Excuse me, he's blind.
Wow.
One of my favorite clips.
I'm going to have to search that up because I've never seen it. So I'll look for it after that.
They were just reminding me of that when it was like, I work, excuse me, worked at a medium-sized publishing company. Our company just laid 100 of us off with no notice. Ooh. Like they sent an email on Wednesday laying us all off immediately.
Oh my gosh.
They also stripped our email access and healthcare and are not offering any severance. They stated the closure is, quote unquote, based on unforeseen business circumstances and faltering business based on unavailability of additional capital.
Word salad.
Yeah. We have no money is
and no prospects. Yeah.
And we didn't plan for that somehow. Yeah. We didn't know that we weren't going to have any money. To say I'm pissed is an understatement. A little notice would have been nice. We ghost write books for our clients, so I guess our clients will also be SOL.
Wild. I think that there is something so unethical about an email layoff. Like a mass email layoff to me is just, that's the bottom of the pit. Like
what was the other one? Like the Google one was the Google one too, where they just like changed the like
the keypad codes. Like they sent out emails but they had already changed the keypad codes, so people couldn't get into the building, but didn't have the email yet. You know,
it's crazy. So similar, like
it's just. I mean, and like even
I actually saw a news story. I know what company this is too.
Are you gonna? Don't be like that. Who is it? Oh, maybe for just. You could tell me after, or like for this person's privacy, do we need to keep it private for them?
I don't know. They sound mad.
I mean, I feel like it's a pretty easy Google search, publishing
Yeah, it's pretty
company.
easy if you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
if you
Layoff.
search it. They're
Yeah.
also like they ghostwrite books for their clients. And it's a
Yeah.
small world. Like they wrote it like it's a small world. I know who this person is because it's so weird. But like when I was in college, the guy who runs this company, he was an author and he used to write these books that were like pretty raunchy. Like they were
Like smutty, like
not
spicy.
smutty, like they were almost like memoirs about his like sexcapades and stuff. Like and
Oh,
the
oh,
fact
is this the college book about I think I think I might know the book.
Tucker Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole
Yes.
made a whole show, did it not? A movie, a show?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I
It
just
did
think,
because Logan from Gilmore Girls played Tucker Max.
oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But
But
like,
James, like I've read that book. Yeah.
and it's like really bad. Like, it's like,
Terrible.
why
It's
did I
horrific.
read this? Like, why? It's like
Yeah, I'll never
so
get that time back.
derogatory towards
Yeah.
women. I'm like, I can't believe I read this and I like enjoyed it as a college student. Just like,
Because it was so scandalous and
I
so like pertinent to the
know.
season of life where we were in, where we were just so used to being degraded and
Degraded, and I just like thought it was funny. Like I thought he
yeah,
was hilarious, and I'm like,
yeah,
I would love to probably read that book now and be like, what was wrong with me? Like poor
yeah.
me, you know, like poor my brain
20-year-old
cells at that
Adrian.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
poor my mental health at that time. That I thought that was funny and
Funny.
like okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, like he started this book company where they
So it's this
ghostwrite
company,
books.
it's Tucker
Yeah.
Max's company. Oh, love it. This is the greatest story we've ever had.
So they went out of business. I saw an article about this, and it's funny that someone like
Wrote in about it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry that this happened to you because I was reading this article and I was like, this is so effed up. And as a business owner, unforeseen circumstances where you don't know that you're not going to have the money to pay, because I also read in the article that like they weren't able to, they were like continuously or like they were having trouble making payroll sometimes, and it's like
This is not unforeseen. The writing's
it's not
on the
unforeseen.
wall.
How do you not like look at your cash flow statements and know that like, oh, in
Yeah.
2 months or in 3 months, like we're about to run off the cliff? You would know that.
You would know that.
You would know that.
Even if you don't want to like know it, you know it.
You know it, right? Like
Yeah.
give people zero notice is just like completely unethical. Like
It's horrific. Like it's the worst thing that you can do to someone. You're playing with people's lives here. Like
yeah, and they didn't get any like final paycheck, severance pay, nothing. It was just like it was like an email on Wednesday. That's what they're saying. And
yeah.
like what I read, it was like they closed like literally the same day. Like they were just like, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
And
Like
we're done. Can you imagine the
couldn't
clients too? That's the other thing. It's like
invested in
people
their
who spent all this money. I'm sure there's gonna be lawsuits, right? Because they spent all this money to have someone write a book for them, and then all of a sudden
there's no book and there's no
done.
money.
Obviously, there was not a closure happening because then the team would have known that if they were like, oh, we have to finish up all the books or something.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
Like, why would you do something this way? It just seems like the most absurd way to conduct business to me.
I know. So I'm sorry for you that you're dealing with this, but also sounds like you dodged a bullet in the long run, like to be working for this individual because clearly they're not that.
Yeah. And I wonder if there's opportunity to like freelance and swoop up some of those projects that were unfinished. But again, these authors need to have money to pay people. So yeah. So yeah, it's definitely
they already paid for this book, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I've never paid for a book to be ghostwritten, but I can imagine it's not cheap. So
I think it's like 30K.
What's a car-ish? Not really.
Yeah. I could get a car for that.
We are starting to think about needing a car. So like, let's hope we can get one for a lot less than that one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that's horrible. And I'm so sorry. And I'm glad that you shared the story and then we outed it. So
yeah, so F your boss. I just know that it's like, yeah, a very small world. And as soon as I read that, I was like, I'm pretty 99% positive I know who this is.
Yeah.
It just got published this week, that an article about it.
Yeah. It's fresh.
Who else could it be, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't even really have advice because there's no advice to give, but more just like cheers to new beginnings.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm sorry that happened to you. I hope you work for a better boss next time.
Of course.
He sucks.
Totally. Yeah. Okay, next story is submitted by Need a Cheerleader. My current team is so awesome that when I need to hire, in brackets now, I have fear and resistance that the new person won't measure up to my current people. I find myself paralyzed in fear and resistance. We now need to hire 3 people, and I will be paying one person with personal funds until I don't have to anymore. I'm finding every reason under the sun to delay, procrastinate, and not place the ad. Any advice?
Well,
I can relate to all of these. I
relate.
think. Like when your team is operating it has so much synergy and like so smooth, it's like there's always that little bit of like, we need to hire people, but like we got a good thing going on here.
Yeah, you don't want to like mess up the synergy and the vibe.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get it, but you have to hire.
Yeah,
because you're not going to maintain those good vibes if you keep overworking your team by not hiring.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Right. Like they will not continue to be happy if they're overworked, and then the culture will begin to falter, and then no more good vibes. And it would have been better to just risk bringing in someone new who maybe wasn't the vibe, or who could be the vibe, right?
Could be better.
I think the other thing to remember is like you somehow chose these people to mesh and be a good fit. And so trust your gut and your instincts on fit over skill, you know, more than anything. Like as you're bringing these people in, you did a great job selecting these people, as well as you did a great job getting them to connect and mesh, and you know, maybe bringing some of your team members in on the process as well could be helpful, so that they can also help you gauge vibe of these individuals, especially if they're going to be working closely with them. Like, you know, on our team, like whenever we're hiring, like the people that are going to be working most closely with this person are the ones that do more of the interviewing and, you know, selection. I can have some say in certain things, but there's been a lot of positions, not a lot because we haven't like hired a whole ton, but 3 people that I didn't really even meet before they came on board, and I just trusted our team that they were going to be a good fit, and they have been. And like you said, like sometimes it can even be better. They make the team even better, because like when we were first starting, you know, we had 3 or whatever, and like the vibes are so good and you're connecting with each other and you don't want to ruin it. And then we brought someone else in, we brought Gabby in, and then the vibes got better. And then we brought, you know, Sandy, and the vibes get even better, and Gio, and the vibes get even, you know, like the vibes just keep getting better. So just trust your gut on hiring.
Everyone brings their own thing. Like, could you imagine our team without Sandy, like asking us what our astrological signs are and like gifting us all crystals? Like,
is that what she's doing? Like, I
don't know what she's doing.
I don't know what she's doing at the astro. Yeah, our team member Sandy yesterday asked us all of our astrological signs. TBD what she needs them for. I don't know.
I can't wait. Honestly, can't wait to find out.
Gio with the memes, like,
oh my gosh,
like I just it just cracks me up every day. There's like something. Like I follow him on Instagram too, just his personal account, and his Instagram
unmatched.
Like I'm
howling,
like, always like laughing out loud, like crying, laughing at some of these things.
Yeah, the best.
They're like always the ones that I like send to Tyler, because Tyler's like not on Instagram that much, but like I send him stuff if it's like really funny, and it's always Gio's
things. Yeah. And I just think it makes me think back to like back in, you know, the early days of Clockwork, when it was like me, you, and Tyler. Like, that was really fun, and we had a great thing going. But like we would be better now.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and this is like one piece of advice I always give people who are hiring. And like our clients are always asking us, like, what is the 25-step hiring process? And like, do you do this? And do you do that? And do you do blah, blah, blah? And I was like, yeah, we have a system. And you know, like we do have a system, but like 9 times out of 10, I listen to my gut. Like if they pass all the things, you know, if I'm seeing green flags everywhere, then it becomes a gut choice. And usually that is like a cultural fit.
Correct. Like, is this person giving me good vibes on this conversation, in this interview? Like, am I enjoying them? Not just are they
proficient at
highly skilled in these things. Like, yes, if they check the boxes, they still don't even need to be the most highly skilled.
Yeah.
Because we can teach a lot of that, you know, but
Absolutely.
gut check on, do I want to hang out with this person?
Literally, because you spend so much time with these people, whether you like it or not. So,
yeah. And most of, like, for everyone, like, I want to spend more time with them and I just don't get to, you know what I mean?
I know.
Which is that's good.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the hardest part about going down to a 4-day work week. I'm like, oh, that's one more day without my team.
You just text me.
I just text you, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, our advice is just
I
feel
this.
you and make the hire and take some time to really think about what it is about your team that is feels so magical to you, and like try to pull out tangible descriptors.
Are they kind? Are they like they have
thoughtful? Are they
thoughtfulness? Are they empathetic?
creative?
Are they,
you know?
Yeah. Are they
sarcastic? To put those, and then also be very clear, like in your job descriptions, your job posting, like our team is sarcastic. Like if you
don't like
that, then you're not going to fit in, because our team will bust each other's balls all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's the vibe. Like,
maybe
they don't have to be like, they don't have to be the same as everybody else. They don't have to do those things, but they have to be okay. You know, like they have to
want to see themselves in this business as well.
That vibe. Yes. Yeah. And so I think being honest about it is really important in that job description.
Yeah. You got it though.
Yeah. You got this.
Okay. Final one.
Oh, my turn.
Your turn.
Okay. Okay. This one is just, I need to vent, but it's actually a happy one.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Surprise. This is from Whole Human. And they said, I just wanted to write in with a positive manager story. I've been having a lot of personal challenges on the home front and had a panic attack during the workday. I let my manager know and she told me to take it easy and focus on myself. I've never worked at a place that actually expressed care for my well-being and me as a whole human. So I had to share to give hope for those out there in toxic work environments. Believe me, I've been there, but apparently they're not all that way.
Oh, I mean, I'm obviously
heart hands.
Yeah. I'm obviously don't want people having panic attacks ever. And but like, that's the thing. That's the whole reason for these conversations is like, it didn't even have anything to do with work. Obviously she said it's like things going on in the home front, but like, you cannot just shut that off the second, oh, it's 9 a.m. Like I'm not a human anymore.
Right. Got to get to work.
Like it doesn't work like
I just had this like, you know, breakdown in my personal life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate your manager for giving you the space that you needed. And it probably makes you want to show up even more for the role, right? Because you feel valued, appreciated like a whole person. And I love that there is some inspiration out there for people who are in toxic work environments, because it sounds like this person has been in those in the past and now is in what seems like a nice and safe space. So I love that for you. And I love the inspiration for other people that maybe someday they're currently in a not so great place. It doesn't always have to be that way.
Yeah. And just a reminder for other managers, like it's not that deep or that hard to just be like, you know what, you can just take the day off. Like, everyone's going to be fine. You know, it's okay. But they're not going to be fine.
Like creates a lot more engagement from that person.
Yeah.
By you giving them the day off. Okay, there's some work lost that day, but how much are they really going to be able to focus anyways if they're not? Yeah. And then because they felt seen and heard and like a whole human, they feel this sense of like, oh, I want to show up for my manager. I want to do the work because I feel valued here, you know, and I feel like it just creates more engagement versus disengagement from someone. If you just shut them down and tell them, okay, well, get over it and get to work.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm disengaged. Like, I don't give a shit about this job, you know, like, because you clearly don't care about me.
Yeah. If you're going to treat me like I'm just like a cog in the wheel, then I'm going to act like I'm just a cog in the wheel. Like you're going to get what you give, essentially. And I think people are like really giving Gen Z a lot of shit for that attitude, but I'm like,
because it's like the quiet quitting thing, right?
Yeah, or just the like, no, like you hired me for 40 hours and I've hit my 40 hours and I'm done. Like, are you paying overtime? No, then I'm done. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna do my job.
Complete. Like, but like I'm gonna do my job as like excellently as I can, but then it's done, Like,
yeah, I don't know. I have like some mixed feelings on all of that, but I think that like if a company shows you that they do not care about you and your well-being and that you are literally just a cog in their wheel and you're absolutely replaceable, why would you care about them?
Exactly.
Why would you go above and beyond, right? Like there are companies out there clearly that do care about you and your whole human, and you are better served by going above and beyond for those places when you can, and when you can't, they're obviously okay with that because they understand.
Totally.
So thank you for this positive story.
Yay.
We'd also, if you have positive stories, we'd love to hear those too, because it's such like a nice change reminder that there is other options out there. There are people out there that are positive. And even though like maybe they're fewer and far between, like part of our goal here is to model something different, right? Like with our advice, but also with some of these stories. So I love a positive spin.
I do think there's more out there than we realize. It's like, if people are happy about something, they'll tell one person. If they're like mad about something, they'll tell 10 people. So I think like when people are angry, they're much louder. So if you have a nice story, like share it, be loud about it. Yeah. And submit it at dearworkwives.com for us to read on this podcast so we can talk about you.
I just thought about something that like one of my friends shared with me. Which you're right. Like most of my, like if any of my friends have like something really negative, obviously they're really loud about it, but they do have like a lot of challenging work experiences. And then there's, maybe a couple that have really good ones. And then the majority, I would say, are just like neutral, like there's just nothing good or bad happening. It's just like they show up to work and whatever, they do their thing. Like, there's nothing to talk about, but one funny story, it's not funny, it's really cringy actually, that one of my friends shared with me the other day was that they were on like a Zoom meeting and there was a transgendered person that was like on the call and they were like introducing them and they went by the pronouns like they, and the manager introduced them as they originally. Yeah. And then throughout the call proceeded to refer to them as a she. And my friend was like, I am like mortified on this call. Like you literally introduced them as a they and communicated that they prefer the pronouns they. And then you proceeded to like, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, did they ever say anything?
Yeah. Did they speak up? Or they're probably used to it, which is the worst part,
Yeah, no, they didn't. I was like, oh my God. I was like, did the manager ever like catch themselves?
Like, oh my gosh. Because I
could see, yes, we're trying.
People are not a mono, like, so I have heard that the biggest impact is to just correct yourself. Like, sorry, they, and then it's, you know what I mean? If you if you slip up, if you make a mistake, then you just correct it, Yeah. I've actually just started using they constantly because I feel like it's easier. Yeah. Unless I'm talking about like to my husband about my children, but if I don't actually like whenever we're client names, anything, if I haven't had an interaction with, I'm like they, it's just they, because who knows? Who knows? And it's easier and it's a better habit to be in, Yeah.
It was so
cringy though.
I feel like older people, and this is not like a dig on older people. I think it's just so happens to be like whenever I'm with my children, they always refer to like the kids as a boy, like boys. Oh, how old is he? Oh, he's so cute.
Your children?
Yes, always. And then when I look back at like kids' photos, I mean, they don't have hair. Like, I get it, but now
you do love like a neutral color palette with lots of mustard.
Yeah, mustard, like lots of
burnt orange,
safari clothes.
Safari clothes, yeah.
animals.
Animal prints. Yeah. Yeah.
But the other day I was at the playground and it was this older couple and they walked up and the woman was like, oh, what is their name? Like she was very like
specific,
cognizant to use they. And I have never really met people that do that, especially of like the older generation. I think they constantly like just go with what they think, and
pink is girl,
whatever. It
blue
doesn't
is
like
boy.
offend me. Yeah, like it doesn't usually offend me. It's like comical sometimes, but I was just like, oh, her name is Coco, you know? Like, I just thought it was really sweet that they just didn't make the assumption one way or the other. So I don't know if she meant to do that or not, but like,
but that's the kicker for me. It's that easy. It's just that easy.
What is their name? What's
their name?
Yeah.
Do they like popsicles?
Yeah. It was cute.
Okay. I remembered my order. When you were a kid, did you ever get the chocolate popsicles and the banana popsicles?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. Then you're not going to know. But I used to buy one chocolate popsicle, one banana popsicle, and they like snapped in half in the middle. And then I would like have one of each. And then I would put the other ones in the freezer for later. That's what I used to do.
Like they're side by side.
You know, like there's two sticks. Yeah. And then you could like break them in half. Yeah. That's what I would go to the corner store when I would go buy my dad cigarettes and he would let me buy popsicles.
Wait, you were allowed to buy your dad's cigarettes?
I'm pretty sure. Like when I was a child. Like I think it was illegal. Like you know what I mean? Like I think they would send me to the corner store and sometimes I'd be like picking up pizza, going and getting like the variety store. I'd get like some 5-cent candy or some popsicles. And like my dad would be like, can you get me a pack of whatever? My mom was menthols.
Dead.
You know? Child of the 90s.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to end it.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Just know if you're a parent, you're not sending your kids to go get cigs for you right now.
And like it was normal. So I by no means like it's just I was not the only one doing that. So.
Right. It was just what it was.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, we'll see you
next Tuesday. Bye.